Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Wow, we're using the same microphone so I don't have to say go.
Wow, we're talking to each other, and he's holding the phone up to the microphone. So
Yeah.
we're not in the same room.
Nope.
That would be crazy.
It's weird how I get to see your face now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not used to it.
Yeah. Hopefully this will be good. So you said you solved the epitaph.
Fuck, where's my paper? I didn't solve it, but I'm onto something.
Mm-hmm.
All this paper, dude. So, I'll just read what I have here. Behold the Sweetfish River.
You just wrote down the whole epitaph.
No.
You're going to read it.
Yep. Okay, so hometown, like, I thought it was the island, but I'm like, Taiwan, but like, why Taiwan? So, like, I gotta figure that out. So, but I think that essentially the epitaph has two different meanings. It has a subjective and objective meaning. So you have the subjective meaning, which is like the regular nouns, and then you have the proper nouns, which is the like subjective meaning. So that's why. Who's the fat guy? I forget the fat guy's name.
Hideyoshi.
That's why Hideyoshi was saying like, "Oh, sweetfish do this thing where they go into the ocean and then come back." That's metaphor. But then you can also do it in like an actual like physical, like it's also in reality. So I think Beatrice, the two will tell you of is so remember how we said the light switch? So close.
No.
Okay, well light switch. It's a if the light switch if the open part was broken, then you wouldn't be able to get to the treasure. That essentially means if the subjective world didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to find the treasure. So, what it means is that you actually have to accept Beatrice in order to solve the epitaph. I don't like that.
Oh. Okay, so you're accepting Beatrice?
Not yet.
Okay.
That's my theory for what it is right now. I don't accept her.
Okay.
I don't accept her. But yeah, also I found like the characters. So like when Ava was there, she used the characters, and so I like looked them up on Wikipedia, and it was like, oh, there's nouns, there's proper nouns. I mean, so the noun means like village. This is for Sato.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Village, home, original home of a household member, origins, birth, parentage. But then the proper noun is a place name, a surname, a given name. Then for I don't know which one this is. It kind of looks like a trident.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's for shore. Noun, bank, coast, shore. Proper noun, surname.
Look for the shore the two will tell you of.
Yeah. So I still gotta. So there's not 6 characters. There's more than 6, and so the key is actually combining these. I think that it's like if the character is in someone's name, you kill them or something. That's what I think.
And then you get to the gold.
I haven't figured it all out yet.
Okay.
But essentially, because that's what Ava did. She got the gold.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's essentially what I think. I'll probably make like a big rant video at one point, and then I'll be like, okay, at the end of the video, it'll be like, I know what's going on. You guys don't, because my brain works weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now,
let's open.
I've
got it open.
I have it open almost.
This is not the finale.
No.
This is the one before the finale. So let's get ready.
I think there's 3, isn't there?
3.
I think.
What makes you think that?
Because when I downloaded the mod, it was like I went to like, because I thought you said there were 2, but then I went to the second one, then I was like, wait, I don't remember this.
Oh well, maybe the other people did that thing where they did 2 in 1.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
That would be why it would be 3 hours then.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess
let's do it like they did then. Let's do this, and then we'll do the other 2 all in one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The guest house lobby was wrapped in silence. Oh, what's going on? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The strings of tension binding Klaus, Natsui, and Deva had already loosened, and they were completely worn out with their minds beginning to waver. Every once in a while, they would stand up and walk around pointlessly as though fighting their drowsiness. Are you okay, Ava? What's going on? Please do take it easy and rest.
I told you, I'm fine. The three of us are now the only adults. There's no time to rest. No matter what the cost, we must guard this place until the end.
Okay, recap. What happened last time? Why are they the only three adults? Do you remember?
All because everyone in the place, like, they went to find food or some shit.
Yeah, they went to find some food.
And then all these people died. Kyrie, Rudolph, Hideyoshi. Except Beatrice, Ava was like, don't kill Hideyoshi, but then they killed Hideyoshi. And it's like, no.
That's not what happened.
What happened?
Ava, Beatrice, just told them to kill Hideyoshi.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember.
Right, because she was kind of like, fuck it, just kill him. He's seen too much or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. And Balor's still alive.
Yeah, she was all like, I was gonna let you get away, but, you came back, because Hideyoshi came back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, you should have hid, and I wouldn't have even killed you. Okay. She spoke bravely, but she couldn't hide her rough breathing. It seemed that the fever, which had calmed with medicine for a short time, had returned. It was very obvious that Ava's health was not good.
Take it easy. At least close your eyes. If something happens, you need to be awake for. If something happens that you need to be awake for, we will definitely wake you. I'm telling you, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Fuck off.
It seemed she was already unwilling to budge. Krauser naturally realized that even if they talked to her any more than when she was like this, it wouldn't reach her ears. So without saying anything more, they decided to let her be. To Ava right now, even having an argument like that would be burdensome. It would probably be better for her body if she just sat there with her mouth closed. In truth, Ava was just a step away from being beaten down by drowsiness. Perhaps she shot her back at them with a temper because she was trying to rouse herself and throw off her sleepiness. The clock would be pointing to 6 in the afternoon very soon. She had several snacks to distract herself from her drowsiness, so she didn't feel hungry. But now her lack of sleep made her feel like it was 6 in the morning, not the afternoon.
Yeah.
Even supposing that the boat came at precisely 9 in the morning tomorrow, they still had more than 12 full hours to go. It was an overwhelmingly long stretch of time.
That is a lot of time.
Long, painful, hot. Even the sound of the clock torments my body now. In times like this, when that person puts his hand on my forehead, the fever fades at once. But that person no longer exists. Oh shit, that was Ava the whole time.
Oh no!
As Ava's mind grew foggy, she was once again gripped by a deep sadness. She had already cried herself dry. Even so, the sadness of losing her beloved husband had not been exhausted.
I was wrong. I think he was Russian, right?
Yeah, she's Russian.
What do you mean?
The new witch and Ava were fundamentally the same being. If Ava talked to her, she would always respond.
I thought that if I could gain the position of the Ushiyumiya family head, that alone would be enough. But then as soon as I saw the mountain of gold, my greed grew. I was struck by a desire to have that mountain all to myself. That's nothing to be ashamed of. After all, it's your natural right as the Ushiyumiya family head. How could you give up even a bit of it to anyone else? I was gripped by that temptation, which is why you were born. Well, you are a young girl version for me. At the same time, you are also my self-centered evil heart. You are my shadow, my Jungian shadow, dude. Because of my foolish greed sprouted that mountain of gold. The shell of the egg that is my cracked heart, and you were born into this world. I am responsible for your birth. In that case, when I killed Rosa and Maria, and then Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi, you were responsible for that too. Why did you kill my husband too? Why? I didn't want to kill Hideyoshi. He was just so annoying and persistent.
Poor
His
Hideyoshi.
hand was so soft when I put it on my head. And that's your fault. It's your fault for choosing a husband like that. He's fat. A child like you cannot understand what made that man so wonderful. Oh, dear. What the heck? Our dreams were made real with magic, right? We solved the riddle of the epitaph. Then we found the gold and got the Ed's ring. All of our dreams came fully true, right? What more could you want? Those weren't all my dreams. What about living a wonderful life with that person and giving George an excellent life? I still have many dreams that haven't come true. As a wife, as a mother, and yet. Those are just extra dreams you added after becoming an adult. They aren't my dreams. That's because you're a child. You only care about what's best for yourself. That's right, everything is my fault. Back then, why did I resist doing what Rosa told me to? Why couldn't I announce to all the siblings that I'd found the gold? It's all because I'm so hideous. My evil heart, which sprouted from my desire to have all that gold for myself, caused you to hatch. Looks like you really hate me. Even though we're both Ushirmi and Eva. No, that isn't true anymore, and it was you who said it. I am Ushirmi Eva, and you are the Golden Witch, Beatrice. So just disappear. Witches are imaginary illusions that only exist in fairy tales. Things like you should just disappear, never appear in front of me again. Yeah, good right. I understand. I'll disappear in front of you. And I'm no longer Ushirmi Eva. From now on, I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. So now I can play however I want. I don't even care about you if you'd only just give up and die.
Well, that sounds like Eva.
That sounds like Eva.
After having a very childlike tantrum, the witch who had once been another Eva vanished. Only Eva was left behind in the darkness, and she questioned herself.
Me? I killed them? Did I kill that person? Did I kill him?
She could no longer answer that question herself.
Shit, split personality bullshit.
I killed them, don't worry, Ava.
No.
It was me, Beatrice. It seemed that, half asleep, she had gotten some saliva caught in her windpipe just as she was dozing off. Ava suddenly started coughing.
Are you okay, Eva? Please, snatch me some water.
Yes.
The water's poisoned. I'm fine, okay? I just choked a bit.
Ava pushed away Natsui's hand as she tried to rub her back and unsteadily rose to her feet.
I'm going to go wash my face. Sorry I fell asleep. When I get back, I'll make some more coffee. Extra strong so that I won't get drowsy until tomorrow morning. Yes, please do. Your coffee's more to my taste than what Golda makes. He's a fucking servant. I'm glad to hear it, even if it's flattery. I'll be back soon.
Ava exited the lobby, heading for the bathroom. Klaus and Natsui watched over her flail back. So, you sometimes do show concern for Ava, even though you've always been so much at odds with her.
Isn't this how an older brother is supposed to be?
Yes, I believe you're right.
It isn't just Eva. There's Rudolph and Rosa too. Instead of acting like an older brother to them, all I ever did was speak arrogantly and bully them. What are you doing? In my own way, I was frantic in my desire to be like father. But I could never match up, and I was always vented my feelings onto them. But that is no excuse. I probably gave Ava's scars so deep they still have not healed. I regret it, but even if I apologized after all this time, I would do nothing to heal those wounds.
If you can hold on to that feeling, instead of only letting it last for this moment, I'm sure your siblings will come to see it sooner or later, even though they're all dead except for Ava.
Yep. But by now, Ava is the only sibling I have left. You just said that.
If only you and your siblings hadn't been born into the Ushiromiya family, you might have had a more normal, a more fun sibling relationship.
You mustn't say that. Ava will probably continue to hate me for her whole life, and she has a right to. I intend to resign myself to that fact and accept it.
Oh dear.
Shut up, woman. Ava, I'm sorry. Of course, you don't have to forgive me. Oh shit. Of course I won't forgive you. What are you talking about? After all this time, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh yeah, something we didn't. At the last chapter ended with George
Right!
flying away from
God! What happened
to see Shannon.
What happened to him?
I don't fucking know. You're not talking about him.
Oh my god! I had like a vague inclination of that, but I never like said it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Oh, so now you're feeling guilty. If only you just give up and die right now. Do it, Chester sisters. Fucking kill him.
Oh yeah, they've got robot voices.
Yeah. Beep boop bop beep.
45, firing permission received. Reconfirming firing are correcting for weather discrepancies. Data linked to 410. 410 data received. Firing permission confirmed. Firing.
Damn.
Together, the sisters released. Oh, so they just fucking die that easily.
I guess.
Together, the sisters released the magical bowstring they had wedded. That's not as cool as
no, it isn't as
Kyrie
cool. It's not cool. Because Kraus isn't. I think Kraus is like one of the coolest ones, but then he dies in such a shitty way.
A beautiful tail trailed behind the gold arrow, and it drew a wobbly curve as it flew. It was just like a gold snake.
Whoa.
It skillfully avoided a grove of trees and flew towards the front door of the guest house. Then it flew into the keyhole of the door and snuck into the guest house without any problem at all. The gold snake raced down the hall smoothly, yet as fast as an arrow. Right before it was the door to the lobby. When it flew into the keyhole, Kraus and Natsui were all ready. For an instant, Kraus thought he saw a gold-colored sparkle in the keyhole in the door, then he was dead.
No, he's dead. Then he died.
However, at the same time as he strained his eyes to see what it was, a sparkle bent like a whip and attacked, wrapping itself around Kraus's neck.
No.
Well, I guess it can't be as cool, because once the Chester sisters came for Rudolph and Kyrie, it became like this, and now that they're here, it's like, they can just fucking
they
steal
just do it all
anything
the
from
time.
anywhere, yeah. The reason it was cool was because they were fighting the 7 stakes of purgatory.
At the same time, yeah.
And that was...
The Chester
they aren't
sisters-
as good as the Chester
Yeah,
sisters.
Chester sisters are
they're just
overpowered.
overpowered. It's not even fun. With
No, it's not
fucking
fun.
Ava. Just looking at it, the gold snake seemed very supple. However, it was as though a wire had tightened around Kraus's neck. And while that snake choked Klaus' neck, it extended even more, and also tightened around Natsui's neck.
No.
Without even a chance to scream, their eyes bulged as they went into convulsions and then collapsed and died.
No, dude. No.
4-5, hit and kill, confirmed. Formulating towing curve, revising capture points, data linked to 410. 410, data received, initiating corpse towing. We got both of them, yeah.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
The gold snake began to drag Klaus and Natsui's bodies back. They swept through the door to the corridor, dragged the bodies, gradually increasing in speed, and rapidly pulled them outside the guest house. So the lobby was silent as though nothing had happened. As though Klaus and Natsui had not been there since the beginning. Only the sound of the wind and the rain remained, as if they were playing dumb and pretending to be the only ones there.
Sorry, I'm fine now. I'll go make some coffee. Oh, where the hell is everyone? Oh.
Ava returned from the bathroom. It's pretty darn suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But no one was in the lobby. Even though they had supposedly been in that sofa until the moment she had choked and gone to the bathroom. They were gone, as if they had been an illusion from the very beginning.
No, dude. No.
It was only natural.
No. An illusion from the beginning. Oh my god, you can't distinguish between reality and fantasy? Is that what's going on? Fuck off. Fuck. No. Alright. How careless of them. Where do those two go off to together? Huh? Why do I have blood all over my hands?
Ava put her hand on the sofa as though acting out a scene from a detective novel. Sure, Ava's the detective. she felt a warmth that meant that they'd been sitting there until a short while ago. Maybe they went to do the rounds or something. For the time being, Ava sat down and waited for their return.
It's exactly like Fight Club, except it's an Ava. I figured out the epitaph. I figured out everything. I figured out the mystery. I solved everything. She's just fucking crazy. It was pretty obvious from the beginning, though, because she was kind of getting sick and whatnot. Okay.
Beato and George could be seen in the parlor of the mansion. George was kneeling near Shannon's body as though praying. His face was serious, and there was even sweat on his forehead.
The lost love that will be revived.
However, Beato was the same. Now that she had handed her name over, most of her previous power had been lost. Of course, she still had more than enough power to be called a witch, but compared to the past, it was a very faint thing. Good. Don't talk to her. Don't touch her with your hand. Call to her with the voice of your heart, and seek her with the hand of your heart. Only your strong feelings can make my magic reach Shannon's lost soul. George kept praying earnestly and silently. He kept frantically yelling inside his heart, trying to call back the soul of the person he loved. He strongly envisioned his soul leaving his body and searching for her as she wandered through the land of the dead. Beato turned that strong force into magical power that supplemented her own magic. This was magic that, in the past, she could have performed easily without anyone's help. But now, if she didn't rely on someone's assistance, she wouldn't be able to finish the chant, much less succeed. I'd forgotten for several centuries. Was resurrection always this difficult? Beato was wearing an even more strained expression than George. It had slipped her mind, but originally the magic to revive a wife was the ultimate hidden art. The abnormal thing was her previous magical power, which could be used over and over with a snap of her fingers, like reverse Thanos.
No! Oh!
So the heavy burden on her body and mind was, fundamentally speaking, extremely natural.
God damn it.
However, this man's power, even though he doesn't know magic, it's nothing to be laughed at. I see. So he truly is Kinzo's grandchild. The strong energy pouring from George was large enough to act as magical power. At first, Beato thought it must be the blood of Kinzo, the sorcerer. However, that probably wasn't it. She had a feeling that Bauer had already told her what it was. It had been born from the power of George's sadness at the death of the person he loved, and from the way he had tried his hardest throughout his life. From the warm time spent together with Shannon, to the size of the dream they swore to protect in the future. Is it really possible for humans to take life so seriously, even though they only have a single one?
I would value it more.
It was only natural.
No.
To her, a life didn't mean anything more than the difference between the top and bottom of an Othello piece. If the black represented death, then she thought all you had to do was flip it over again and make it white.
I guess it makes sense.
However, it was just like that broken vase. To humans in a world without magic, where they cannot return things to their original form, it is very, very natural for them to bet their wife and soul.
Oh my god. I don't know. What does natural mean?
So is an endless witch who can do as she pleases even with life and death inferior to a limited human who can't even surpass the mountain of death? This time the witch acknowledged it. He was able to hold a magical power that could never reside in witches who didn't understand the value of a wife.
Oh.
Why does this thing called the endless magic exist? Even though I called myself the Endless Witch? Did I forget what the endless magic means for 1,000 years? She looked at George's expression again. His surging earnestness was like a lightning bolt scarred his forehead. Right now, even if George's body had been burned or smashed by a waterfall, he would probably continue to pray for his beloved without minding it, without noticing it. For the first time, she showed respect for that power. So in that instant, all magical resistance was lost, and the enormous power of George's feelings turned into magical energy in its complete form.
Whoa.
The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. Oh, even as young as I was, this is the beginning
I
again.
guess.
It still forced me to, so it's black and white now, so it's better. It's like old timey. It still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed this beauty. But that just made me want to touch it. But the vase easily fell and smashed into pieces and blood everywhere.
No.
Like a bubble that had popped. It felt as though the time it possessed a form had been just an illusion. Lives are just that fragile, just that easily lost. I realized that my foolish curiosity had led to something that couldn't be undone. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the smashed vase wouldn't return back to its original form. A lost life will not return to normal no matter what happens. I was frightened that, even though my actions had been thoughtless and careless, they had stolen away a life that could never be revived again. Then I pitied that lost life and cried. I was frightened of myself, the one responsible for its loss, and cried even more. I'm sure Grandfather will also cry at the loss of his precious vase. I'm sure that all the people who love Grandfather and see him like that will cry. With the loss of a single life, the whole world can be filled with so much sadness. I cried even more at how terrible that was. Yeah, Beatrice's redemption arc. Beatrice appeared and spoke.
Epic.
Let us revive that vase with magic. If that will make everyone happy, the vase and the magic and the spirits will happily lend you their power and return it to its original form. Come, lady, close your eyes and chant with me. I am Kumasawa.
Yeah, that was a retarded period.
Come, try closing your eyes. And try to remember, what form did you have? It was surely a very, very beautiful form. Please, show me that form one more time.
Wow.
Will Shannon come back?
The lost love will be revived, dude. It's literally all it's all happening. Oh god, the entire epitaph is coming to fruition.
Those words, aw, I still have the red thing, but yours is all black.
Yeah.
Those words of power knocked forcefully on the door to the land of the dead. The magic of her old self had performed that same forceful knock. However, doing it that way was horribly violent, and earned the displeasure of the peacefully sweeping dead. But this time was different. It was very forceful, and yet gentle and loving. The dead near the door opened their eyes, and called out to the others that there was a voice calling for someone to come back. The sadness of that voice calling from the outside touched the hearts of the dead, and trying to respond as quickly as possible, they searched for Shannon's lost soul. And then, they found it. They found the casket in which Shannon was peacefully sleeping. It truly was Shannon's soul, sweeping in the land of the dead. Sweep, sweep.
So, goddamn it.
Inside the casket that was covered with rose flowers frozen with frost, she was sweeping in peace. The dead silently lifted that casket up, while at a glance it looked like a funeral march. It had the complete opposite meaning.
What the fuck?
It was solemn but filled with joy. The long-forgotten dead were made to remember that they were loved after their deaths, and they were all given a warm sense of peace. Then, as though guided by a warm light from the heavens, Shannon's body floated up out of the casket. The dead watched her go. They squinted at that warm light, offering their respect to this unknown member of the living, who had not lost his love for a person even after their death. George.
Dude. This is giving me goosebumps.
That's good. Shannon's body was enveloped in the white from the heavens and began to disappear. In the jet-black darkness of the land of the dead, the faint flickering of gold butterflies could be seen. It reminded them of the gentle stars in the night sky, which they had long forgotten.
That's what...
George remembered being told that he must not say anything, and he hurriedly covered his mouth. However, it felt like his heart was trying to jump into his throat, because he had seen Shannon's eyelids shake slightly.
And then he gasped, and then Shannon returned.
Then those eyelids slowly opened. Shannon's eyes were there, but they were still lapped in the fog of the land of the dead. However, the human world's warmth, no, her lover's warmth, which had called back her soul, slowly dissolved that fog, and her eyes gradually regained their sparkle. Then her eyes moved, and recognized George. George, son?
No.
As her lips shook weakly, Shannon definitely said that. Say it in red. The words were very faint, so much so that they normally wouldn't have reached his ears. However, George clearly heard them. He heard the person he cared for, his fiancée, the one he loved most and who should have been dead, call his name once again.
Shannon. Shannon. Do you know who I am?
George, son, is this a dream?
No. It isn't a dream. Come on, see here. Even if I pinch you, you won't wake up.
As George said that, he softly pinched Shannon's cheek, and she went back to sleep. It was how George had always responded in the past when Shannon had been surprised by something and had asked if she was dreaming. When Shannon felt the warm touch of George's finger on her cheek, and when George realized that the warmth of the living had already returned to his beloved person's cheek, they both cried.
Oh, dude. Oh.
What words should a pair of lovers separated by death celebrate when they are reunited? The words of the human world are not enough. In short, they had no need of the words of this world. George simply hugged Shannon, who was sitting up without talking. Shannon's strength was still feeble, and putting her arms around George's back took all she had. So George hugged her tightly to make up for that. To stop each other from going once more to a place the other's hand couldn't reach, they hugged each other so tightly and yet so gently. As Shannon's fingers curled around George's back, on her ring finger, the engagement ring George had given her definitely shone. That strong glint certainly wasn't just the sparkle of a diamond. There definitely was a magical power that only the two lovers could possibly feel. It was because that strong light existed that they had been able to find her casket in the land of the dead. Beato understood. That wing, no. The feelings of the pair embodied in that wing were a miracle made real. By Beatrice in the first place.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
In that moment, George definitely used magic. Beato had done nothing more than help him along. That magic had a power that could only reside in those who knew of the importance of life, who knew what it meant to try with all one's might. It was the power of a miracle, one that the endless witch couldn't possibly know of. A miracle that only the power of the finite could give wise to. By now, she had no choice but to accept it. She had to accept that true magical power, exists in the place furthest away from she who called herself a great witch. Beatrice, Sama?
She brought me back to life. Thank you, Beatrice.
You're welcome. No, I did nothing. What revived Shannon was your magical power. It was your magic. The Ushiromiya blood, which makes miracles come true, surely saw you through. George, Revived me? Indeed, it was an incredible display of magical power, one that I could not hope to compete with. So, I am still nothing more than an apprentice. Now I finally know my place.
Yeah, you're worse than people. Friggin' dummy.
Beato staggered backwards. Her physical strength was clearly exhausted. She had humbly said that to George's power alone had revived Shannon, but Beato had also used all of her magical and physical strength. And she reflected upon how difficult it was to revive a single wife. Something she'd been able to play around with however she wanted to in the past. The couple kept on embracing each other tightly. By doing that, those feelings that couldn't be communicated with a billion words were shared. I'm just wondering, is Shannon alive over here? No, she's dead.
No,
she's dead.
She's still dead.
I'm looking at the thing.
And she's still dead.
By doing that, those feelings that couldn't be communicated with a billion words were shared.
Thank you, Beatrice. We're in your debt.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. I'll never forget the debt I owe you for bringing me to George again. Stop that. Being thanked by a pair of lovers is far too embarrassing for one who has been feared as a monster of a person. Don't worry about me. Celebrate your reunion together to the fullest. Beato, who was leaning with her back against the wall, swayed down the wall and sat. How many centuries had it been since she last grew this tired from using magic? I probably haven't been this tired since the time I first succeeded in magic. Didn't teacher praise me that time? Oh, but didn't I kill that same teacher who praised me? Don't be so naive, Beatrice. Isn't that what killing means?
What the fuck?
Finally. It seems you finally remembered how to use magic. My head feels parched and suffocated, and I can't even remember. More importantly, didn't I kill you? You shouldn't be appearing. You are still allowing me to live even now. That is why I can appear like this. However, I did not come just to pat your head. Did you come to sneer at how pathetic I am? Anyway, if I had my head patted by a retired witch after all that's happened, the other witches will laugh at me. That's right. According to your bragging, you are not only a full adult, but a retired one. And yet only now have you learned how to use magic. That certainly does sound too embarrassing to tell anyone. Yeah, tell me about it. Keep it a secret, okay, teacher? Beato gazed at the couple hugging each other with a sense of pleasant despondency. Love, is it? I'm no match. 4-5, data received.
No!
Firing preparations concluded. Ammo type selected and loaded.
What the fuck? No!
410, firing. The gold snake arrow.
What?
I started reading it in the robot voice. The gold snake arrow fired by the Chiestas weaved its way through the bushes in the rose garden, weaved its way through its hedges and climbed stone steps towards the mansion's entrance, aiming for the keyhole.
Weave through corridors.
Oh, weave through corridors.
Flew into the keyhole on the door of the parlor. That was the best scream ever.
It happened in an instant. One could hardly blame Beato, who was completely worn out for not noticing beforehand. Right before Beato's eyes, the gold snake flew in through the keyhole, surrounded the two others, and pierced the two hearts in a blink of an eye.
Damn.
Well, it was pretty hard to bring her back the first time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Furthermore, the gold snake faithfully pierced a hole through Shannon's chest once more. The two hearts were pierced by that gold snake. No, by that gold sewing thread of the new brutal witch's furniture. And it had happened in an instant, mocking the amount of effort it had taken to revive Shannon. Before Beato's shocked eyes, the two fell over and landed on the floor. Gorge! Shannon!
Thank you, Beatrice, for letting us meet, even just for a short while. Thank you.
George spent his last breath thanking Beato and died alongside the one he loved. The gold snake, which still sewed the two in place, spun like a large cyclone, revolving around the inside of the power. She's just going around killing everybody.
Damn.
It was searching for further prey in that womb.
And it killed Beatrice.
Then the tip of the snake met Beato's gaze. In that instant, Beato was prepared to die.
What the fuck?
At that moment, Virgilia stood in front of her, the fingers of both her hands drawing a seal. Instantly, gold-colored gold wreath. Gold-colored gold.
Yeah.
Buried the inside of the power. It was like a blizzard of gold. Well, I guess there was a lot of gold, so they had
you gotta put it in there twice, you know?
Beato, run while you can. No one can escape from the Chester's golden bow.
No one can escape.
410, target lost.
But no one can escape!
It's magical chaff. 4-5, roger that. Modifying search algorithm, switching to anti-personnel image-based tracking. Target lock reacquired, data link to 410. 410, data received. Too slow, predecessor. Coming, impact. Prey targeted by the Chiesto sisters' golden bow did not escape. It could not be blocked. No magical barrier could even dream of blocking it without being multi-layered. The gap opened during that instant of confusion caused by Virgilia's deception magic was Beato's only chance to escape. And it was the only chance to make the sisters confuse Virgilia for Beato. So Virgilia dies again. Just like Shannon again dying.
Wait. It's both a subjective and objective world. I don't know what to call it, because that's my words for calling it, but it's like the world of magic and the world of real life.
As Virgilia spread arms wide, blocking the way to her beloved disciple, the gold snake pierced right through her heart. After sneaking in through the keyhole, the snake shot through George, Shannon, and then Virgilia in an instant, completely failing to notice Beato, as she used that instant to escape. So you can't escape it, but you can trick it with someone else who will die?
I don't know what that means.
As soon as Virgilia saw that Beato had gone away, she died.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to watch this episode again.
The strength left her body, and like gold dust drifting with the wind, her form was erased. Beato completely erased all traces of her magical power, became gold butterflies, and passed through the wall, escaping to the wind and rain outside. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Oh, you bitch! You bitch! Beato felt regret from the bottom of her heart. Why? Because she'd been attacked by the new witch? Probably not. Of course, she hated losing her teacher. And even more importantly, Beato was enraged at the barbarism that had bullishly stolen away the reunion between two lovers. Beato had poured out almost all of her magical power to reunite them. Even though the result had been a miracle, the time it took to seal that away had been so ridiculously short. Beato trembled at the barbarous cruelty that had brought about such an abrupt end. Besides, this was the true form of the act she herself had committed up until that point. So just as strongly as Beato hated the new witch, she also looked at her previous self with disgust.
I look at my previous self with disgust all the time.
I look at my present self with disgust all the time. But now she had to escape. If she was targeted next, she would probably lose her life. To think that a chess player had descended, thinking they were like a god, only to be attacked by the pieces.
No!
Oh, what's going on?
Uh-oh.
4-5, impact confirmed. Target scattered. Without a doubt, we crushed the predecessor. Looks like our pile of kill medals is gonna get bigger again. Yeah.
What was that about loving couples? You get to enjoy tearing the two apart by death. reuniting them, and then tearing them apart again, right? Yeah, and along with that, I get to say goodbye to that damn old fussy hag. Fuck, now I forget her voice.
She's Russian.
Commissioner Ranove, do you have any complaints?
I do not, Beatrice.
That person interfered with the ceremony of the witch's epitaph, you see. She revived a sacrifice from the first twilight without permission, obstructing my ceremony which she started, but also she revived. She actually did follow the epitaph. She's got no right at all to complain. But it sucks that she didn't leave a corpse behind, and I thought I'd be able to torture that old hag to death over and over again endlessly.
That's Ranove.
That's Ranove being silent.
It's pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it going to be Battler again? No, what?
No, it's Ava. Fuck. George did. No, I didn't see him. When did he come down?
Here is Battler.
When you say, what hour was that again? I think it was probably around 4 or 5. At the very least, it was more than an hour ago. We got sleepy and probably dozed off after that. But I think it's probably like Jessica says, about 1 or 2 hours ago.
I also remember something from around that time. I was asked if I wanted more coffee. Oh yeah, George went to his room and asked him if he wanted more coffee. Something hard to believe had happened. Apparently, when Aunt Ava had left for a second to wash her hands, Uncle Klaus and Aunt Natsui had disappeared. There's no way they went hiding somewhere. Of course, the doors and windows had all been rigorously checked, and all were locked from the inside. Not one of them was broken. And that wasn't just true for the first floor, the second floor was the same. Again, all the doors and windows had locks built in a way that made it impossible to check them from the outside. In other words, there was no way that Uncle Klaus and Aunt Natsui had gone outside. And yet they couldn't be found. Furthermore, they weren't the only ones who had disappeared. So had George, of all people.
What?
George had left saying he was going to get more coffee, and had gone downstairs more than an hour earlier. We'd assumed that he was having a conversation with Aunt Ava in the west, but Aunt Ava, who had been in the lobby the whole time, said that no one had come down. Since all the doors and windows were locked from the inside, it was unthinkable that they had gone outside. However, 3 humans had evaporated from this barricaded guest house, which had become a perfect, closed room.
No.
Because when George left, the window was locked behind him.
Right, so he didn't actually leave from the window.
But no one came downstairs.
Secret passageway. Something like that. I don't know.
In a situation like this, we couldn't imagine that this was because they were playing hide and seek and trying to scare us with a plank. It was probably reasonable to assume that they'd been caught up in this crime. When Aunt Ava had learned that her only son was missing, she had gone half insane, running from room to room and yelling his name. And Jessica, who had suddenly lost both of her parents, had chased after her. Cries of George, George, and Ben dead.
Oh my god,
and had continued to echo through the guest house for some time. I think George said something about wanting to see Shannon's dead face. That's Ava.
Yeah,
definitely.
It would probably be reasonable to assume that he snuck out of the guest house and went to the mansion.
Just a second.
Okay.
That's been bugging me this whole time.
What was?
It was bent inward.
Oh.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah, that makes it more structurally unstable.
It still is. Oh well.
It still is structurally unstable. Okay.
It would be reasonable to assume that he snuck out of the guest house and went to the mansion.
But I didn't...
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. But I didn't have a clue that Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsui. Did they see him leave? And then go to the mansion to search for him? Without even telling...
What now even towing at, Ava? At this rate, it's only a matter of time. This is Battler.
Oh. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before we start planning to leave the guest house to go search for them. When that time comes, I'll agree. I don't know what I'll agree to, but I'll agree with it. We thought staying holed up in the guest house would be safe, which was why our big happy group of 12 locked themselves up here this morning. And yet now there's only 4 of us left.
Oh shit, is that all that's left?
That's
just Battler and Nanjo and...
That means staying here is no guarantee of safety. However, there's one thing we can't afford to forget. All the doors and windows were locked from the inside. Say it in red. This is a closed room. How did they manage to vanish from this place? Maybe Aunt Ava took them to the treasure room instead of anything else.
Maybe.
I think that makes a lot more sense than anything else. We searched around thoroughly. However, we couldn't find any traces of someone hiding. The 3 of them had almost certainly been taken outside the guest house.
I wonder how it was done. You don't think there might be something like magic? You don't think there might be something like a hidden door?
A hidden door?
That's
what are you,
stupid? The doors and the windows were built in a way that makes them impossible to lock from the outside. Even using a fish line, it would probably be impossible with the way they're constructed. So, it may be reasonable to assume that they left via something other than a door or a window.
Like magic! You're right! That does make logical sense. No one can be sure that no hidden doors exist. Just like the one Aunt Ava found. Whoa! However, before leaping to that conclusion, I suspect a much simpler possibility.
And what would that be?
That you're just freaking stupid.
For some time, Batwa had been opening windows, opening shutters, and checking outside. Repeating this for each window.
This window's pretty quiet. This isn't a window, it's a picture. What the hell? I see. Unlike the other windows, because of how this building's shaped, the wind doesn't blow into this one.
It appears that way.
Wait, what?
It feels strange that no wind or rain comes in, even though there's so much of it outside.
Dr. Nanjo, when I opened the window just now, did you hear a sound?
Huh? No, I did not notice it. I believe it is well oiled.
In other words, it's possible to slink through a window in the hallway when no one is looking. Furthermore, the wind doesn't blow in through this window, so the air pressure wouldn't cause the curtains or a door to make a sound. So he could leave through the door, but it was
locked.
No, but he could unlock it from the inside, leave out the door, and then come back and unlock it again because nobody can understand. Or because nobody can understand me, but nobody understands that you can leave through the door and then come back and unlock it again.
No, but you can't lock the door from the outside.
No, because you leave out the window. Because you unlock the window from the inside.
Yep.
Go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Go back inside.
But the door is locked. How do you come back through the door?
You can just come back through the window again.
Well, then, okay. So you're saying that he's still inside the house.
He could be. I don't know. See, this is why I don't like thinking on the fly. It makes me feel so stupid. So the air pressure wouldn't cause the curtains or door to make a sound. It'd be quiet.
Batwell leaned forward and looked at the ground below. He was searching for some sign that George had jumped down. But at a glance, he didn't see any mark like that on the grass in the middle of the pouring rain.
It's because he's ziplined.
Because
he's ziplined.
He flew out the window.
No, he's ziplined. That's what it was. There might also be a window like this on the first floor. It'd be possible to go outside without anyone noticing. He could unlock the floor. He could unlock the window from the bottom floor. Go up.
And then, how does he lock them, though? Once he's outside.
God damn it. I just realized what I said after I said it. It was like, that's retarded.
However, not only the doors, but the windows too are all locked, and the shutters are even down as well, correct? It may be possible to go out through them, but you couldn't lock them afterwards.
Sure you can lock them. Just like this. Locks door.
That were closed the window and locked it, as though this was perfectly obvious. Battler, you aren't saying...
There's two people. That makes more sense. If someone outside locked it afterward, this closed room is as easy as pie. Ooh. Maybe, Dr. Nanjo, you'll unlock the door.
But that means...
Nanjo's the only one who had no alibi. He was inside of his room all this time.
Nanjo turned pale and shook his head several times, because the thing Battler had said had forced him to face a fact that was frightening even to imagine.
That's only if the trick I'm thinking of actually happened, okay? However, with this trick, only a very limited number of people can be whatever can...
Oh, I already skipped.
How do I go back?
Oh shit, what the hell is going on? That's only the trick I'm thinking of actually, okay?
However, with this trick, only a very limited number of people can be suspected. He
didn't want to say it in front of Nanjo, but after eliminating Jessica, who had been with him the whole time, only Nanjo and Ava could have done it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do anything of the sort. Yes, I swear it.
In this case, it becomes a battle between Aunt Ava and Dr. Nanjo for an alibi. And you're both guilty. We just have to suspect both of you, and can find the two of you separately. To say it the other way around, the more survivors there are, the more effective this trick might be. But since our numbers have shrunk so much, it isn't effective at all.
No, on the contrary, there'd be a chance of having your own neck strangled by using it. It would have been more advantageous to make it look like the culprit was outside, to intentionally leave a door unlocked or break a window.
If this disappearance drama had taken place midday today, I'd be able to claim this theory with full confidence. However, at this stage, I'm not confident at all. What's going on here? What in the world does it mean? This closed room.
You don't think,
All the bodies are not actually dead.
All the bodies?
All the bodies.
Every single one.
Every single one.
But it was said in red for all of them so far, except for George.
Didn't they just say the body's not the actual, person?
For the first 5, they said them by name. She called them by name in red and said that they were dead. I forget about the others, but I'm assuming that she used their names, because that's generally what she does.
Okay, right.
Actually, I don't think that she confirmed... I think that she refused to confirm the deaths of Kyrie and Hideyoshi and the other one.
Rudolph, yeah? Yeah, okay. What is it, Dr. Nanjo? Are you fucking guilty? Even if it's just a thought, please say it.
Nanjo looked like he was trying to swallow his words, even though he thought of something, so I urged him on.
Oh, shit. After Dr. Nanjo refused several times, saying that it was just a foolish idea, he finally said it out loud.
Don't you think this might actually be the work of the witch, idiot?
Aren't you fucking retarded? Magic doesn't exist. Ridiculous. You're actually stupid. You're older than I am. There's no way witches exist.
The witch is trying to make her case to us, specifically because she's doing things that humans cannot do. She must be trying to make us accept her as a witch. To me, this disappearance from the closed room of the entire guest house feels like the kind of message from the witch.
Dude, Nanjo fucking kills people. Dude, the only reason he would say this expressly is because Balor got something right. That's the only...
It's something I must not think of.
Oh my
Surely
God.
It cannot mean anything. Ooh, I am frightened.
You're just scared you're gonna fucking die. As Dr. Nando shook with fear, it looked like he was trying to erase the fearsome thoughts that he kept imagining one after the other. Maybe he's actually being coerced by Aunt Ava, who's fucking insane. When we went
That's pretty crazy.
She was pretty crazy. When we went down the stairs, Aunt Ava and Jessica were enraged, and they were each persistent in their desire to leave this place and search for their respective families. It was a desire that naturally hit those who could no longer see their family. Aunt Ava told Dr. Nandro and me to stay here, but I shook my head and started walking. I've been shut up inside for a long time already. I've started wanting to breathe some outside air.
Finally, Battler goes out and starts detective working.
Exactly. Jesus. Yeah, if we're going, let's go quickly. There's no way I'm gonna keep myself shut in a place like this anymore. I'm gonna find my dead parents. Let's go and find Mom, Dad, and George right now.
The plot is always into Jessica's head.
I hope... Oh my god, I read in Jessica's voice. I hope it doesn't set off her asthma. That's foreshadowing language for it's definitely gonna set off her asthma. If anyone wants to stay, go ahead and stay. We'll be searching outside. What about you, Dr. Nanjo? Will you watch the place by yourself and unlock windows and shit?
No, I'm Mike's only character. He voices. You gotta go with you guys, so Mike got something to do. Allow me to join you. Well, this is gonna be you.
Oh, rather than holding up alone at a guest house whose security was by no means guaranteed, it would be better to enter a dangerous zone as a group of 4 people, even if the 2 of those people are the murderers. And Ava had a gun. Moving separately from her was almost like asking to be made into the next victim. In this way, the 4 of us decided to leave the guest house. Even though it should have been safe to barricade ourselves here, we lost 8 people after doing so. It was almost as though this was a holding cell, from which the sacrifices could be killed one after another. We should have just ran all over the place like a chicken with their head cut off, then they couldn't have caught us. We removed the chain, unlocked the front door, and opened it. It was already pitch black. We saw all of the dead bodies there, and they were alive. What the
All
fuck?
of the dead bodies.
While there were some lights outside that dimly lit the pathway, they didn't have enough power to pierce the darkness that some suspicious person might be hiding in. I'm going. If you fall behind, you're on your own, okay? Still holding her gun, Aunt Ava dashed outside without an umbrella. Jessica followed after her. I'm coming too. After glancing at each other, Dr. Nanjo and I chased after them. What in the world is happening in this mansion, on this island? I've just been shut up in the guest house with the rest of the cousins since yesterday. I don't know anything about what's going on outside. Just what is happening that I don't know about. Outside this room, in the mansion, on this island. Everything is happening. Everything is proceeding. And everything is ending without my knowing it. What the fuck? Somewhere in my heart I've already started giving up. Most likely, not one of us will see tomorrow morning. When the seals cry, nobody will be left alive. Damn, that's fucking deep. Whoa! It's done.
There's only 4 people left.
Only 4 people left. So, wait, so that means the witch was already... So, like, if we follow the epitaph... Here, let me see the epitaph. Show me the epitaph. Okay, screw off, Jessica. I don't care about you. I care about the epitaph. So here's the epitaph right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what I wanted to show you. So, right. None shall be left alive. So the witch is going to revive. And nobody's going to be alive. But then, everyone's going to be revived.
What? Everyone's going to be revived?
No, maybe not revived, but they're all going to be resurrected. The souls are going to be resurrected.
Yeah, not everybody. Just,
All All the dead souls.
Sorry, it does say all the dead souls. Sorry, I was just thinking about the resurrection of the love that was lost. And
yeah. But why would they separate the love that was lost and all the dead souls?
Well, maybe it's the love. It isn't the person. Maybe they're talking about the actual love between the.
Right, the subjective and objective world, dude. It's the world of magic and the actual reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I think it's right. All right, but yeah, that was this episode.
That was this episode. Come back on Wednesday.
Come back
for the finale with Dad and Mom.